Let's start with looping statements. Loop is used to execute set of statements repeatedly. When if there are some four statements and we want to execute those four statements 20 times or 50 times or 100 times. So instead of writing those statements 20 times or 50 times, what we use loop and tail to loop that for how many times I want to execute these set of statements. There are different types of loop. We will see how we write loops to execute set of statements for particular number of times. Types of loop are while, do while, for each. While is a keyword to implement loop. Syntax for while loop is we write a while keyword in bracket, we write condition, then curly brace, start. In this, we write a body and then close curly brace. We'll see one example program how we write a while loop to execute some set of statements for particular number of times. This one more point, this while is exit control loop. Exit control loop means what? It controls on exit. Okay. It first checks if condition is true or false. It keep control on exiting. Okay. How we see that in program. Here we have one project, Java, simple Java project. In this SRC, we create one package, looping statements. Or just say looping. Loop. Right click on it and take a new class and give name to class while demo. Click on this public static void main, click finish. We'll write one program. Write a program to print 1 to 10 numbers using while loop. Write a program to print 1 to 10 numbers using while loop. Now, here we will take one variable called I. We will initialize it to 1. This is our initialization process. Initialization means assigning some value to variable, then while, curly brace, start code, close. This is a syntax for while loop. And in this we write condition. Till when we want to run this loop? Till value of I is 10 because we want to print up to 10. Then we will print it I. Then I plus plus increment operator. This has a condition and this is increment. First of all, we want to print from 1, so we initialized value 1 to I variable. Then while I is less than equals to 10 means 1 is less than equals to 10. Yes, here we are writing a condition that until and unless value of I does not become 11, continue this loop. Okay, it will continue, this loop will continue till value of I is either 10 or less than 10, because this program is to print 1 to 10 numbers. Then what we do, we write here condition. First of all, what happens, it initializes 1 to I, Then it comes to this while loop. It will check whether I is less than equals to 10 or not, whether this condition becomes true or not. Always loop will continue if condition is true, otherwise it will come out of loop. Here I is less than equals to 10. Now value of I is 1. 1 is less than equal to 10. Yes, loop condition will be true and it will print 1. Then I plus plus will print 1. Then I plus plus value will become 2. Plus plus is a increment operator and minus minus is a decrement operator. Okay, plus plus operator increments value by 1, decrement operator decreases value by 1. And there are pre-increment and post-increment operators also, like this plus plus, or this is called pre-increment operator. And if we put this plus plus after the variable, we call it as a post-increment operator. The difference between these two is when I say pre-increment, then it increments first, then do all other activities. But when I do give I plus plus, then it perform all the operations regarding I first and then will print I plus plus. For example, if I write I plus plus in this, then it will first print I and then will increment. But if I write like this plus plus I, then it will first increment value of I and then will print. So this is a difference. Okay, then I plus plus I will become 2 and it will go to condition again, because I said till condition is true it will continue the body. Okay, it again goes to this condition and 2 is less than equals to 10. Yes, it will print 2. Again I plus plus, it will become 3. 3 is less than equal to 10. Yes, then it will print 3. And I plus plus, it will become 4. Again we'll go here, 4 is less than equals to 10. Yes, condition true. Here it will print 4 and here I plus plus will become 5. This will be true till 10. When value of I becomes 10, then it checks 10 is not less than 10 but it's equal to 10. Then it will print 10. Value of 10 now becomes 11 here at line 16 I plus plus. It will go again condition, will check 11 is less than equals to 10. No, it's false. Then it will come out of loop and you can see it printed from 1 to 10. We will run this and check output. Output is 1 to 10. Yeah. Any doubts in this? Can we go ahead? It keeps control on exit. Okay, it controls on exit. That's why it's
Yes,
called exit control loop. Yeah. Anything there? Yeah. Can we go ahead?
yes, yes, please.
Yeah. Simple. It's simple. So this is a diagram for that. First of all, it test condition. If it's false, then it will come out of loop. If condition is true, then it will execute while loop body available in curly braces starting closing, and then again it goes to test condition. It's true, then it continue till the condition is true. As soon as condition becomes false, it will come out of loop. So this is a diagram. Then we will see do while loop. We'll take a same program. using do while loop. Same program, but little bit syntax will be changed. I equals to 1 is same. Here instead of while, what we write? We write do. Okay, here we write do and here we write while. And body will be same. Increment, decrement we do in body. Just a second. I have to update this one part. This is do. Syntax is first write do, here semicolon, do, then body, then while condition. This is syntax for do while. Do while is entry control loop because it at least executes once either condition is true or false. At least do while loop executes once. That's why it's called entry control loop. Okay, now we'll see on program. Do while loop. Yeah, in this change is first we write do curly brace start, we write a body, then curly brace close, then write while, then condition in it, and semicolon is there. Now you can see first what will happen, here is no condition, so directly it comes into body. That's why it's called exit control loop. Here also need to modify do while is exit control loop and while is entry control loop. Because in while it controls on entry by checking condition first, but in do while it controls on exit by checking condition at last. Either condition is true or false. First it controls on exit and execute body once, so it is called exit control loop. This is a difference between these two loops. Means when you will use while and when you will use do while loop. When you want to execute body at least once, either condition is true or false, that time you will go for do while loop. And to execute body only when condition is true, that time we go for while loop. So this is a program for do while loop. Let's run this. 1 to 10, it's printed 1 to 10. Same program, only syntax is little bit different, where I do curly brace start body. So while will be here condition and semicolon, and here will be do curly brace start body, and we do initialization outside this do while. Okay, first we do initialization. Clear? Simple? Any doubts in this? Clear? Anyone can ask if not understood. See, these are set of statements. Here you can write any number of statements and that will be executed for these many number of times. If you want to execute this for 100 times, you will write it 100, 1000, 10,000, 1 lakh. How many times you want to execute this, that you will write in this condition, and those for those many times, this body will be executed. Okay, let's go ahead. While loop, for loop. Syntax for loop is we do all initialization, condition, increment, decrement at one place in for loop. So this is preferable to use. Okay, this is preferable. This is easy to use. In this, we write a body, start curly brace, and we write a body in it. We will see one example program how we write a while for loop. For demo, finish. Write a program to print. Same program will take, but using for loop. Write a program to print numbers from 1 to 10 using for loop. Here we will declare one variable I, and here for, this is a keyword for, start close bracket, do initialization, I equals to 1, write condition, execute this loop till I is less than equals to 10, I plus plus, and here system.out.println I. Initialization, condition, and increment. All these things we are doing at one place. Run this program. It's print 1 to 10. Okay. So how execution is, we will see process. First, it comes to initialization. It will come to initialization only once at first time. I equals to 1. Now check condition. 1 is less than equals to 10. Yes, it will come to body, execute, then increment. I will become 2. Then condition 2 is less than equals to 10. Yes. Then body will execute body. Then I plus plus condition. If true, then body. I plus plus condition body. I plus plus condition body. I plus plus condition body. Till condition is true, it will be continued in this fashion. Condition body increment decrement. Condition body increment decrement. If condition is false, then it will come out of this loop. Okay, here is only one sentence. That's why no need of curly brace. But if here are two statements like this, then I must give curly brace to this for loop. Okay, getting this? Understood?
Yes. Now one question.
Yeah.
If I put plus plus I, then will it print 2 to 10?
Yeah, then also same will print. It will print same. Plus plus I. See, I equals to 1, it will check a condition. 1 is less than 10. Yes, 1 will print. Then it will do plus plus I. Okay, let's check this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because the sequence is, it prints same. Because sequence is same. It first initialization, then condition. 1 is less than 10. Yes, it will print 1, then plus plus I. It will just increment the value because we are not using it. It's not associated with any activity, right? That's why there is no impact of writing plus plus I or I plus plus over here. Okay, but if we write here plus plus I, and if we don't write here then here will be impact. What will happen? 1 will not print here. It will first increment and then will print. So might be it will print from 2 to 10. Okay, let's run this. Here you can see it's not printing 1, it's printing from 2 because first it incremented, then it's printing. Okay, that's why 1 went away. But if I give this plus plus after I save it, then what will happen? It will print 1 to 10 because this is post increment. First it will print, and then increment. Hope you are understanding.
Yes, yes, understood.
Yeah.
But then, okay, this means in print error statement also we can implement, and that will be appended to i's values also. It's not only.
Yeah. It means what? We can skip this. We can write loop like this as well. We can see. But what will happen? This will become infinite loop, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this will become infinite loop. Initialize variable. So it will print now 0 infinite times. And if we assign here I equals to 1, I is less than equals to 10, I plus plus. Also we can, if we want to handle this increment part in system.out.println or in this body, we can do so. Okay. But these two semicolons are compulsory, and whatever you want to skip, you can skip. If you want to skip this condition, then you can skip. Okay, that's also okay. And you can write condition here. If this condition is true, then you can break. There is a keyword called break, which when executed, then control of this for loop comes out of it. Okay, control from this for loop comes out if I is less than 10, then break.
We need a semicolon after 10 there. If
No, after if we don't use semicolon.
no, after 10, if I is less than equal to 10, yes.
No, because this is not a syntax of it.
Okay.
Okay, there is also. But it's okay. It means the point is we can skip condition from here and we can write in this somewhere else, or we yeah. But the condition is important. Otherwise, what will happen? The loop will become infinite. Okay, it will never stop. And if we, it's okay if you are not writing at this place condition, but somehow you need to write in this loop the condition, so that if condition become false, then you must break it. Okay, there is a break keyword to come out of it.
Okay. And if accidentally I write a program wherein it went into
Then
infinite loop,
yeah,
how
then
do
we
I
can
stop?
stop program.
Like Control C in Unix, how
Yeah,
is.
I show you. If I equals to 1 and no condition, no increment, okay, then it will print continuously 1. Okay, let us see what happens. Yeah, now this is an infinite loop. I equals to 1, and it does not have any condition, it does not have any increment decrement. It continuing printing I again and again. Here you can see it's printing 1, still it's printing. Okay, it's an infinite loop. So to stop this, click on this stop
Okay.
program. Okay, program execution. When we run, we get a stop button. You can see stop. Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
yeah, welcome. Any doubts? Anything? Any other questions?
Hello.
Yeah, yes, hello.
Mostly are loop statement. What is the actual difference between for and while loop?
Yeah,
Can
here
let's
in
say
for loop, yeah, in for loop, we do initialization, condition, and increment decrement at one line.
that's okay. But in while loop, where we are initializing, that is other thing. But while loop also we are initializing condition check and increment also. So what
Yeah.
is the difference?
See, if you do like this while loop, okay. If I remove this, okay, the condition is must here, right? It does not allow you to avoid condition for this loop and to handle it somewhere else and to come out of loop by using break statement and avoid this condition from loop. Okay, it's not allowing you like that, but in loop you can do so. That is a difference. It means there is a little bit more, it's more scalable to do various types of activities. Okay, it's easy to write as well as to do various types of different activities. It means you are not incrementing here, you are incrementing here. Okay, you are skipping condition from the loop, but here you are not able to skip condition in while loop. Okay.
Okay, because mostly we used to for loop.
Yeah, mostly we use for loop.
Okay, that is the one difference. That is the condition. Means while declaring while loop,
Mhm.
their condition should be there. In for loop, it is not compulsory condition. We can put anywhere.
Yeah, in while there must be something condition, but here you can skip condition. It means you are this for is acting as a do while as well as for loop. Okay, entry control loop as well as exit control loop. It acting as a both. Also, it has feature to skip if you want to skip something, and if you want to do all the things at same line, you are able to do that. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. Any question? Anything else? Okay, let's go ahead. We'll see some pattern printing programs. Pattern 1. Program is to print below pattern. Write a program to print below pattern using pattern is star, 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 triple star, 4 star, 5 star. This is the pattern we need to print. So how to do this? First of all, we will count number of lines. These are 5 lines, so we will take one loop for number of lines. For I equals to 1, I is less than equals to 5, because we have 5 lines, I plus plus. Now declare this int I, and we need one more loop, so we take one more looping variable j. Here need to write inner loops I equals to 1, I is less than equals to 5, I plus plus. Okay, let's declare this into this main area. When we declare it outside main, okay, it asks to declare these variables as static, because non-static variables cannot be accessed in static context. This is a static context and here it's not accessible. So either make it as a static, this is a rule, okay, either make it as a static to access it into the main method, or you can declare these variables into main method. Int ig, I equals to 1. Yeah, this is for line number. Then system.out.println /n will be printed. Now, but already we are at first line, okay. When loop will be executed, program will be executed, it is always at first line, so we'll write it later and before that, because when we run program, immediately it goes to first line always, cursor blinks at first line. So that's why we will start printing over there, okay, at first line we are there. So to print star, we will take one more loop, that will be inner loop. This is a outer loop and we write one inner loop. When it comes to first line, it means I equals to 1 and it came into this body, means we are at first line, I equals to 1 and 1 is less than, how much star we want to print? 1. Then we will write here first I. This loop will be j, loop variable will be j, and here print start this curly brace for this inner loop. This loop is to print star. What will happen here? I equals to 1, condition will be true. Here it will come j equals to 1, 1 is less than equals to 1, yes, it will print star. Here write star, it will print 1 star. Then it will check j plus plus, j will become 2. So 2 is less than equals to I, no, it's false. Then it will come out of it and it will go to next line. Now on next line we want to print 2 stars. After this, here outer for loop body ends, then it goes to I plus plus and it makes 2, value of I will be 2. 2 is less than equals to 5, yes. Here what will happen, this loop will execute 2 times, because for one time at first iteration j equals to 1, here we written I, now value of I is 2. That's why the inner loop will execute 2 times. One is for j equals to 1 and second is for j equals to 2. When j equals to 1, condition true, it will print 1 star, j plus plus, j will become 2, 2 is less than equals to 2, I is 2, we know here, you can see. Then it's true, it will print star, j plus plus, j will become 3, here it will get false and will come out of loop. And here it goes to next line, third line. Again it will do I plus plus, means 3. Now this loop will execute 3 times, because value of I is 3. Till j is less than 3, it will execute. So 1, it will execute for 1, then j value will be 2. 2 is less than 3, yes, it will execute. Then 3, 3 is less than 3, not less than 3 but equal to 3, it will print. Then j plus plus 4, 4 is not less than equals to I, 3 means false, go to next line and it will become 4. If you understood this flow, okay, then you will understand, you can write any type of printing programs, okay. or you can make use of outer and for inner for loops to solve complex problems. Okay. Then, so the thing is, always remember initialization. If we write only one for loop, then initialization will happen only once, and after that, condition, if it true, body, then increment. Condition, if it's true, body, increment. Condition, if it's true, body, increment. And in case of inner loop, initialization will happen every time because it comes in this loop with from this outer loop. Okay, if we write a loop inside a loop, it means if a loop is inner loop, then initialization will happen every time. Okay, when it comes to this loop, then it will execute this initialization, condition, body, increment, condition, body, increment, condition, body, increment. Here also it will execute only once, but why here it is executing multiple times? Because it is a inner loop. It is written inside outer loop. That's why it executing more than once this initialization. But if you see the nature of for loop, it always initialization will be executed once, then always is goes to condition, not increment, goes to condition, then body, increment. This is very important to understand, otherwise you will not able to write for loop. Okay, so now you can see this program will print our pattern. Okay, run this. It's not printing properly. What is happening? Can anyone guess what is happening? We written here double slash n. Okay, already if we give here println, no need to give anything here because it's already ln, contains ln. Line, next line, system.out.println. When we write this, it goes to next line. So I am not using again slash n to go to next line. Already we are going to next line with this statement. Run this. Also the problem is there, star 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 means what is happening when I print one star, condition false. Okay, let's remove this also. Okay, just a second.
The for loop will is to be removed. That
Now we'll check. Yeah, it's printing now. Means here we have to use print instead of println method. Okay, because here the task is to print only, not to go to next line. Here we will use only print. Getting this? Any doubt in this? Anyone can ask if having any doubts in this, how this sequence goes, how execution sequence of for loop. Understood? Everyone understood? Yes, Mahinder, Nandakishore, Nirmal, Jyoti.
Yes, sir, understood.
Yeah, good.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Good, good,
Yes, sir.
good. Okay, Suraj, Shantanu, Satish, Samir, Vijay, Rupa
Yes, sir.
Shri.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay, good. Very good. Okay, we will see next pattern now. Right click on loop package, select class, pattern 2, finish. Write a program to print below pattern. Now we will print star 5 stars. Then 4 stars, then 2 stars, then 1 star, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It will be little bit small change. Okay. Number of lines are 5, means this loop will be same. Here we need to do some modifications. The first, this loop should work. This loop should iterate 5 times, then 4 times, then 3 times. Understand its pattern. Okay, it's first 5 star, then 4, then 3, 2, 1. Then this loop, printing loop should execute at first iteration of this outer loop. This inner loop should execute 5 times. Then at second iteration of this outer loop, it should execute for 4 times, then 3 times, then 2 times, then 1 time. So let's do it for first iteration. When it comes for first iteration, that time it has to it has to execute 5 times. This loop should be executed 5 times, means 5 iterations. For that, what we can do, j equals to keep 5. Yeah, anyone can tell me?
Yes,
J equal to I we can take.
J
J
minus.
equal to I.
we have to
Yeah,
declare.
there can be very ways. There can be lots of ways to do that. Out of that, we will do one thing. We will keep j equals to 5 and j is greater than equals to 5. Okay, will it work?
J minus minus.
Decrement J.
Then j should be
minus
decremented,
minus.
correct? Yeah. Now we'll check this. Yeah, it's printing, right? So small change. It's starting from 5, means the target is this loop should executed 5 times, means 5 iterations should happen at first iteration. If we do so, then here we are writing condition 5 is greater than 1. That's why it executes 5 times. But to avoid it to go in infinite loop, here needed to decrement it. Okay, so getting understood this? Any doubts in this? Okay, we will take one different pattern here. If I want to print like this, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, and 5 times 5. Now what modification I should do here?
Instead of star, we have to
Star,
take
we have to go I.
I.
Variable
Line
I.
number we have to give. Line number we have to give.
If I give I here, then first it will 1, then 2, 2. Good, great. Who answered?
Wait.
Yeah, who answered this? Shantanu and
Pandeyji.
Shantanu and Ankit answered, right? Good, very good. That is correct, because value of I changing like that. First it's 1, then in this loop, but it means value should be constant, but it should be incremented for each new line. If I do like this, it will not work. Again, one more change. J should be 1 and less than equal to I. Right?
J plus plus.
J plus plus.
Yeah, J plus plus. It's not printing. Okay, we check what happens. I equals to 1. I is less than equals to 5, I plus plus j equals to 1 is less than equals to 1. Yes, it will print 1,
So
then j plus plus. Printed, but it vanished, right? It printed first. J equals to 1, j is less than equals to 1. Yes, j plus plus I plus plus 2, 2 is less than equals to 5. Yes, j equals to 1. Then 1 is less than equals to 1. 1 is less than equals to 2. 2 will be printed. Then it will go to next line. Okay. Yeah. It's printing, but output getting clear. Okay.
We need to assign a value of I again or another variable in the loop.
I am getting the output.
Yeah. So program is correct. It's just vanishing output.
Just,
Okay.
just close this Java file and create a new one.
Yeah,
Will
we'll
come.
do, yeah, we'll do that. But that's not a problem of
That
a
is also
program.
not an issue because I had created in the same file.
No. Here it might be the compiler might be giving an issue. The code is code is okay. It's just about closing a file and opening a new one.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Because code is correct. It's showing output. It's clearing output after some time showing. Yeah, program is correct. You will see output. Okay. Here you can see when I run, it displayed. It's vanishing. Okay, after displaying, but program does not have any error. Okay, getting. Okay, we'll see one more pattern. If I do like this, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, what change is required now?
Instead of j, I should be printed.
instead of I, J should be printed.
J should be printed.
Yeah. One, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the output. Because J changing like this. Every time J changes. It at first line it will be 1, then at second line it will be 1, 2, third line 1, 2, 3, it changes like so. Okay, we'll do some more programs relating to pattern printing. Diamond pattern. Print this diamond pattern, what we need is, we need 3 loops. One for number of lines, one for spaces, and one for star. Okay. You try this diamond program, okay? Or we can take this program. Do you want to try it by your own diamond pattern?
We'll do it on our own.
Yeah, you try it. If you face any issue, then you can tell me.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. Now we will see some more logical programs. Swap. Okay, one more is there for each. Title is write a program to print 1 to 10 using for each. Here I will take one array called int EIDs, employee IDs. These are 10. Or we can take some small set of numbers, 13, 14, then for EID, Here we have one array called EIDs, employee IDs, and in this integer array we are storing 5 elements. For loop int EID. I want to iterate this loop, okay, this array, and want to print all elements. For that, what we do? We can do that using for each. Okay, this is a for, and here to each element we reach. Here what we do? Here we specify what is our array in which all elements are available. Here a colon, and here we declare one variable of this type. This is an int type of array. It means this array's elements are integer. So we declare one integer variable here, give colon, and give name of array in which all elements are available. What happens? First element goes to this EID, it will print. Then again it goes to EIDs. It will take second element. Second element will come to EID, and we can perform operation with EID here. Again it goes to EID and put the next element to this EID, and we can perform operation at third iteration. We can perform operation with this 12 element, and so on till it elements finishes. Okay, for those many times this loop will be continued, and those many iterations will be there, and we will get each element at different iterations. At first iteration we will get first element, at second iteration we will get second element. Okay, so this is the another way to write and iterate loops. Okay, now we'll see one simple example program, logical program. You can start writing. I give title, start writing a program. It's a simple program. Okay. Everyone can start writing now. Take a title, write a program to swap contents of two numbers. Okay, this is a program. Start writing this. Okay, can anyone tell? Can anyone tell logic? This is num1, this is num2. I have one value in num1 as 10, and or let's take a equals to 10. This is the first number. B equals to 20. This is second number. C. I'm taking one variable C. Now, how we can swap contents of A and B? It means contents of B should go into A, and contents of A should go in B variable. Okay, that's how it should happen. A equals to 20 and B equals to 10. It should happen like this, and printing it. So for this, to swap contents of two variables, what I need to do? Can anyone tell? C equals to A. Now in C, 10 is there. A equals to B. Now first task is completed, assigning value of B to A, means A has now 20. Now B equals to C, semicolon. B has 10 now, because in C it was 10. So when I did B equal to C, then 10 stored into B variable, 20, 10. Now values of A and B are swapped. If we print here, we can do like this. We'll print before swapping. Okay. A and B before swapping. Plus A equals to plus A plus B equals to plus B equal to plus A, B equal to plus B, and after swapping A and B should be 20 and 10. Before it will be 10 and 20. Print it. Run this. Before swapping A equals to 10, we give some alignment, okay, proper alignment. After this, we will use some space. Then A equals to 10, then there should be some space, plus double quote, plus space, save it. And the same thing for this statement as well. After swapping. Before swapping, A was 10, B was 20. After swapping, A became 20 and B has 10. So this is swap. This is the logic to swap contents of two variables. Okay, we can do this without using third operator also. This was using third operator. We can do this without using third operator as well. So you can try that without using third operator. Okay. We will not use this C and will try to swap values of these two. Okay, getting this? Any doubt in this? Understood? Ankit, Hemant.
Yes, sir. Understood. Understood.
Yeah, good. Mahinder, Nandakishore.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Good, very good. Ramesh, understood? Shantanu, Ramesh.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Krishan is there?
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah.
Yeah, Krishan. Getting?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay, we will take another logical program. Factorial. And to read number from print its factorial. Program is to read a number from user and print its factorial. If a number is a 5, then its factorial will be 120. How? 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. When to find factorial for a particular number, we multiply by those numbers. Okay, if a number is a 10, then we go up to 1 by multiplying it to 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and so on. Okay, so this is a way how we calculate factorial, and let us see how to do that. And suppose there is a number in this variable num. Okay. Ankit, you did this factorial program?
Yes, I did it while the practicing was.
Okay.
This was a static thing. It was not asking anything from the user.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. The important is to calculate factorial here. Yeah, let's check whatever you written. Let's check that. This is your program. Okay. Public class. Yeah. E equals to 5, R equals to 1. I equals to 1. This loop will continue 5 times, and each time what it will do, R into I. R is 1 and I is 1. It will do 1 into 1, then it will do 1 into 2, then it will do 1 into 2, then 2 into 3. Then whatever the answer is, that into 4. Okay. Since this is correct, let's run this. Okay. Ankit did this program. We are checking. Okay. 120. Correct. The program logic is correct. It means what is happening every time? Here I equals to 1 and 1 is less than equals to E. Here is a value of E is a 5. This loop will continue 5 times. Each time what will happen here, when I equals to 1, it will come to loop body. R is 1 and I is 1. 1 into 1. In R, 1 will go. I plus plus 2. 2 is less than equals to E. Yes. R is 1 and I is 2. 1 into 2, 2. 2 will go in R. I plus plus I will become 3. 3 is less than equals to 5. Yes. Here R is 2 and I is 3. 3 into 2, 6. 6 will go in R. Now it became 6. I plus plus I will be 4. 4 is less than equals to 5. Yes. 6 into 4, 24. Then we'll go to I plus plus 5. 5 is less than equals to E. Means 5 is not less than E, but at this stage 5 is equal to E. So condition true will come here. 24 into 5, 120. 120 will be stored into R. Now value of I will be 6. 6 is less than equal to 5. False. It will come out of loop and will print value of R, that is 120. Correct. This is the program for factorial. How we implement a logic to calculate solution for a problem. Okay. Or requirement, we can say. So this is program for factorial. One more program we can try, Armstrong. We can try this Armstrong program. Armstrong demo. Write a program to read a number from user and print whether it is Armstrong. Armstrong number means what? sum of cube of each digit will be same number. Okay, if 123 is there, we'll check whether it is Armstrong or not. For that, what we do, cube of each digit, sum of cube of each digit. First we do cube 1 into 1 into 1 plus 2 into 2 into 2 plus 3 into 3 into 3. Now let's check what is the answer. 1 into 1 into 1 is 1. Then 2 into 2 into 2, 8. And 3 cube is 3 3s are 9, 9 3s are 27. Let's add this 1 plus 8, 9, 9 plus 27, 36. So this 36 is not equal to this 123. That's why this is not an Armstrong number. But if I take 153, now we'll check. 1 cube of 1 is 1 plus 5 into 5 into 5. Cube of 5 is 125. Cube of 3 is 27. Add this 126 plus 126 plus 27, 153. So this is a palindrome number. 153 is a palindrome number. But how to write it programmatically? Okay, if when we give a number, then how it will calculate a Armstrong number and will show us whether it is Armstrong or not. For that, we will write program. Okay. You can tell here if you have any idea to write that. Okay. System.out.println, enter number, scanner s equals to new scanner, import this scanner class. sc.next, let's do this. Now let's calculate Armstrong. Check whether it is Armstrong or not. How we do? First, we will store this number in org num. Org num equals to num. Now separate digits. Okay. Okay. Can anyone tell what to do here? Let's get first digit here.
By taking mod of it.
Yeah, it's mod of it. Good, correct. We got digit now because to make cube of it and to add, it's needed to retrieve digit first. That's why we declare digit and we retrieve a digit by applying mod to num. We have digit now. Now what we can do, we can make cube of it, digit into digit into digit, and add this to sum. We'll take one more variable, sum. Sum equals to digit into digit into digit. Again, I want next digit. Okay. Here, suppose number is 153. With this, what will happen? With this line, I will get 3 number, third number, last number. With this, what will happen? I will get cube of it, that is 27. Then again, I want that last but one digit. Okay, for that number, we will make number as num equals to num by 10. Now number will become 15 and num mod 10 will become 5. Then sum equals to digit into digit 27. But here,
We need
maybe-
another.
yeah, here we will do sum equals to sum plus digit into digit into digit. First, it should calculate cube of digit, then add into it. Initialize variable. Okay,
Have to initialize sum to some value.
correct. Because otherwise it will take garbage value. Sum equals to sum plus cube of digit, and now it will happen. Cube of 5 will be 125 and 27 plus 125 will be 152. Okay. Now in sum we have 152. Here num equal to num by 10. There was 15 in num variable. When I do 15 divided by 10, then last digit goes away. 1 will be stored into num and it will go to enter number. It will go to again here, but it should be loop, right? Let's make it loop. Continue this till number is greater than 0 simply. And give tab here. Align it properly. Now condition is true because num is 1 and it's greater than 0. Now when we do 1 mod 10, always when we mod a particular number by 10, if a number is small than 10, then always number itself is the answer. Okay. When I do 1 mod 10, then answer is 1. If I do 5 mod 10, the answer is 5. Here 1 mod 10, answer is 1. Sum equals to digit into digit into digit. Sum is 152. 1 into 1 into 1, 1. 153 is the answer here, 153. Num here will be 153 and num will be 0. Num equals to num by 10, it will be 0 and this condition will become false and it will come out of it. Here sum has here comparing org num with sum. If these two are equal, then we can say number is Armstrong. Then we will say num plus is Armstrong. Else we will say num is not Armstrong. Enter number 153. Number is Armstrong. Here number is becoming 0, right? That's why let's take this org num, because number is changing. Okay, that's why we were storing it into original number, and run now. 153 is Armstrong. Give here little bit space, save and run. Enter a number 153. 153 is Armstrong. When I enter another number, let's say 123, this is number, then say 123 is not Armstrong, because cube of its digit, sum of cube of its digit is not this number. That's why it says not Armstrong. So understood this program? Any doubts in this? Any trouble? Doubts, trouble? Yes. Ankit, Hemant, Mahinder, getting Krishan, Nandakishore.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very
Understood.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Getting.
good, very good, very good. Okay, some guys never speak. Some guys always speak. Okay, that's also okay, but everyone should understand, and everyone should understand. Okay? That is important. Okay, so we can stop here now. We completed all these topics relating to object-oriented concepts, string, exception handling, collection. Okay, this keyword, then conditional statements, looping statements. Okay, collections, exception handling. Okay, then now at the end, I think this is a last session. If you are interested to learn new things in Java 8 game, like autoboxing, generics, what is Java, generics, autoboxing, what is thread, multi-threading. Okay, then annotations, lambda expressions. So if you want, you can show interest, you can talk to Krishan, and otherwise you can reach to me if you want to learn some more things regarding core Java as well as advanced Java also, and we give project training also. If you have any if you want, you are interested to learn further things, you can reach me or you can talk to Krishan. Okay. So anyone else want to speak anything?
Mahesh, Krishnan here, few words from my side.
Yeah.
So actually, this whole concept of this training was for enabling these people to understand Java for this Hadoop training.
Yeah.
So as all of us know, actually Java is an ocean. So
Yeah.
what we have covered is basically the topics that are the bare minimum
Correct.
for understanding the Hadoop concepts.
Correct. Correct.
So first of all, I would like to thank you for sparing your time and giving us this lecture for almost 7 days now, 7 to 8 days now.
Yeah.
So I think everyone benefited a lot, even though there are many online resources. Personally, I always believed whenever we want to learn something, if we can learn from a trainer, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Personally, I always believed in that.